beef.
We should beef. So you, since I was directly involved in this beef, Ben, I think you should set the beef stage, and then we'll do story
Set the
time.
beef stage. So I just found out about it today. I don't know any of these people, so this is going to be fun because I had nothing to do with this. It's just
and no names.
no names.
Yeah.
And Rich sent this in to me and Snowman, our producer, and he's like, "Look at this crap."
Because it happened yesterday.
Yeah. And man, I'm really going to butcher this, but it'll be fun. So
That's all right. The details don't really matter.
Okay, so it was a picture of a female reefer that was, I think she was trying to show some new lights behind her, and she was like, "Check this out." And so a guy in the comments is like, "All I see is boobs," and it was like, I read through the comment and I was like, okay, I don't know why you have to say that, but, and then right away, like, she got offended by it, and then she had a friend come in and they tore into the guy. Well, is where you would expect, like, a mature person would be like, "Oh crap, hey, I'm sorry, I was just joking around, my bad." And the dude and then another friend starts like backing him up, and they double and triple down. And it's just like, I don't want to drag social issues into the aquarium world, but they sometimes drag themselves into it. The reason I feel about this is because there's a lot of female reefers that come in, and this should be a big community where everyone contributes and we listen to, we're talking about reef stuff and listen to, not just a group of guys. It's not just that. We need to get information from everybody, but we tend to drive females out of club meetings and all sorts of stuff because of just weird behavior like this.
Yeah. It was interesting for me because I got invoked. Someone tagged me in it.
Yeah, you're like a genie.
I went and because I made a vow a while ago to never not speak up when stuff like that happens, right? If we're out somewhere and somebody says something sexist, I just go, "Dude, not cool." Just a
But do you carry brass knuckles?
No, I just say, "Not cool, man. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh," they usually go, "Oh." No one's ever going to go, fight you on it.
You've never been to Texas, have you?
So I have been to Texas. We fight in Texas about pH instead.
Yeah. And steers.
So I was actually pretty proud of what I did in this because, well, first of all, it's so bizarre to me because, when you talk about the problems that we're having, which we're not going to get into today, about LGBTQ people and reef keeping and the community, the larger community, one of the things that the first knee-jerk reaction is, what has that got to do with reefing? And so it's like, all right, nice. All I see is boobs. What does that got to do with reefing? It's like it's exactly what people tend to complain about, even though they're complaining about it wrong in the other case. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything. You're just objectifying a woman. And then one of the other guys called the lady, she said, "You look like a mannequin." She was like, "That's really insulting. I'm a person."
Weird. You look like a mannequin.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm a person." And he's like, "In a good way." And it was like, "What? In a good way?"
You look like a mannequin in a good way. You know what? That's such a good way to pick up women at bars.
Well, I don't even know. Then I was like, I had that thought, right? So I go and I look at them. The one guy, the mannequin guy, is this older dude who's got like grandchildren and crap and a wife, and it's 60 or 70. Can I
do that part, Rich?
And then and then the friend, and then the other dude is just some guy. And so I got on and I said, what are you fools doing? Come on, they've told you they don't want you to do it, and you keep doing it. Just stop, or I'll smack you guys down.
No, but what I got,
and then I wrote, but let me tell you the important part. The important part is, then I said to the woman whose thread it was, whose whole post it was, I said, "Hey, I know you don't need me to do this. I know you can handle this. You women are good. I'm here to help. So if you don't want me to do anything, I'm fine to let you handle it. I just promised I would never do it." And then I actually asked her in a PM, I said, "If they come back on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you want me to go?" And she wrote 10. So I was like, okay. And then now you can say what happened.
No, that was, I'm sorry, but I got a kick out of that part because I guess you went on to one of their pages, and was like sourcing photos. It was like a picture of him and his grandma, and you were like, "Hey, how about her boobs? Let me get her phone number. Let me talk to her about her boobs." And like, you have, what about your your loved ones. And it was that was a little squirrely, but he was like, oh, there was a friend, she died. And you're like, yeah, well, she's got great boobs.
Great dead boobs.
Like, yeah. And it was like, dude, come on.
Yeah. And then he kept firing back. And I finally went, look, why don't you just give me your wife's name and her phone number, and give me your granddaughter's name and phone number, because I'd like to call them up and tell them I learned from you that as long as I tell them they have great boobs and they look like mannequins or blow up sex dolls in a good way, that's totally copacetic, because that's how you're treating other women. And then he went away, and then that was it. So that got him to stop. I hate this stuff. I don't want to talk about any of this stuff, but seriously, nice boobs? That's like go, oh, check out Mark's pecs. Damn. Yeah. It's just like, you're just a person.
Mark wants us to talk about his pecs.
Beef.
The bench press is my weakest body part. Sorry, can't go there.
You got beefy pecs.
I think it's bad on your shoulders. Anyways.
All right, so that's the beef. Be nice to people. Just come on, treat people with respect.
Do you think that's why there's less ladies in reefing? Because this is, stats on my video, it's like 85 to 90% male, 22 to 44.
Yep.
So why are there so little ladies in the hobby?
Because if on a random post, two guys start talking about objectifying women, why would they stay around? They've got enough shit to do. They got to fight. It's a hobby, and they've got to take this crap in their hobby. Why would they do that?
Does that happen often?
I think it's way more often than we want to think.
I've heard that it does in aquarium club meeting settings. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So why don't we ask the viewers, people who are watching, especially the lady reefers, do you feel like that happens a lot? That's the first question. This is a two-part question. Part one, things like that happen where you get objectified or they make comments that are inappropriate. Two, does that keep you from commenting, or do you think it keeps other females from entering the saltwater aquarium hobby?
Yeah, and while you're making that comment, smash like, smash subscribe, and share.
So I have a lot of female reefer friends, and I know it's not just the objectifying. There's also the kind of chauvinistic angle of that. Like, you'd be in a club meeting and everyone's talking about acros and pH and all that. And that a female would be either afraid to pipe up or had piped up before talking about it, and everyone's like dismissive, which that's tricky, okay? Because if you really if what you're saying is not helpful to conversation, okay, I'm a male, I've been dismissed as well. But I mean, just dismissing someone because they're a female, what could they possibly know about chasing pH? I know plenty of female reefers that know plenty about reef tanks.
No more than I know about it.
Yeah.
It's we call it mansplaining now, but it happens to men too. It's somebody treating you like a friggin' idiot. So yeah. So like Mark says, Lord Callahan, God,
Lord Neptune,
God of reefing airways, said,
God of the aquatic underworld.
I am Callahan.
I have the power.
It's like, that's
the tank will tell you what it wants.
Listen, my children, just listen to the tank.
Listen to the waves.
We need some Rasta music in the background,
No,
next time I fire up the grow light and be like, have the hookah.
Yeah.
Smoking with Rich and Ben.
That's what we should have been called, Smoking with Rich and Ben.
Smoking and Rich.
It would be the most boring show ever.
You know what?
I'd be asleep.
There's some stoners out there that would love it.
Yeah, but we'd all be like, I got the munchies.
Yeah.
To be fair, those stoners love looking at the wall too. So
yeah,
you get stoned enough, the wall is gorgeous.
The wall.
Anything else on this? It's funny that we're all like these social issues, but they keep coming up, and I want them to stop. But we'll see what people.
It's hilarious because we're always like a bunch of white dudes.
Right. We have a list of guests, and a bunch of them are women, so we will have women on, and it will be up to that woman if she wants to talk about this or not. There's plenty of women in the hobby that I know that are just like, I don't even want to talk about this. This is just so stupid. I don't even want to deal with it, which is totally fair.
That's one thing I would say is female reefers watching this. If you have other female reefers you'd like to put in the comments, like, oh, you should talk to blah, blah, blah. Like throw that at us too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd love to do good in the world around this kind of crap. It's our, I feel like it's totally our world. And I'm so shocked every time I find out that our world is like the rest of the world. And I don't think it should be. I think we should be better than that, because we're just people doing reefing. Who cares if you have boobs? It's so dumb. I mean, I love boobs. I love boobs. I love looking at boobs. It's great,
do too.
But why, I think inappropriate thoughts 1,000 times a day, but they stay in my head because that's what your head is for.
That's what I said to you, Rich. It's like, I'm not trying to take a hypocritic position to where I don't think things like this. But that's what I'm saying, is that I'm mature enough to that crap mostly stays in my head, unless you're drinking with me at a bar, and then I might say all sorts of crazy shit.
Fantasy is fantasy. You can fantasize about whatever you want. So
what about these Instagram people where they're like clearly selling, they have a reef tank, but it's like, okay, is this a reef tank shot or is this a boob shot?
I think that is their prerogative. I mean, it's the same thing. I get this all the time. People are like, damn, Rich, you are so sexy. And I have to go, come on, we're talking about reefs. Can we just talk about reefs? I think it's fine. I think, we get into some weird places there because it's like, she deserved to be sexually assaulted because she was wearing a short skirt. 100% no. Just because if I'm showing cleavage on my Instagram, that is not an open invitation for you to talk about my cleavage. We're people, and people dress differently, or it's like, what it's a lot like? It's like laughing at the naked African savages in National Geographic. What are you doing? They're people who are different. Why are you going boobs, boobs, boobs? Just stop it. They're people. Even if they're dressed like that. I mean, being attractive is different than being a sex worker. And there's nothing wrong that I can see with being a sex worker. And they're not the same thing. And I think for some reason, people, if she showed her boobs, she wants me to talk about it. It's like, and this one's even worse because she was clearly not showing her boobs. She just took a picture.
Okay, that was a weird thing too. She was just wearing a regular t-shirt, and I mean, hey, I'm gonna be honest, it appeared that she was well endowed, but it didn't seem to me completely that she was trying to focus on that. And she made a comment herself where she said, look, I'm sorry my tits are attached to me, like, and I take a photo of something, you're putting your tits, the tits are part of my body, sorry that they appeared in the photo, next time I'll chop my tits off, so it's not a part of the thing.
Just let's get over it.
These dudes are going to be way better served when the sex robots come and invade this land, and then they can just have a functional sex robot, and they can like incel all day.
Lord Callahan, when are the sex robots coming?
Do you know?
I mean, they got to go through Ben first. Ben's the first line of defense, so they're going to come to Texas.
The first crate hits the U.S. shores in Houston, and I signed up for it. I got to safety test them.
Beautiful.
He got a call from a 1-800 number, and he took the call and he bought it.
It was a guy with a Russian accent.
No, it was not. You wired money to a Nigerian prince.
Yep.
Nice.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Nice.
Yeah, and Rich probably remembers that. Everyone else on the show might be too young.
There's a. Have you seen the Celtic version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
No.
Somebody did a Celtic song of the French Prince. We'll put it in the links. Snowman. I'll make sure it gets linked because it's hilarious if you know the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Smell you later.
It's everything you want it to be. I think that's a good transition point.
That is sex robots in a Celtic Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.